you're not in your jammies. But we'll get started. It is November 1st. Yay! I woke up this morning pretty excited. I'll be honest, I'm not a Halloween fan. So you can boo me or leave me all the nasty grams in the comments. But I'm not a Halloween fan. I didn't grow up doing Halloween, and my kids eat pretty clean, so it's like constant conversations about toxins and food colorings and sugar, and it's exhausting. So anyway, do my kids eat Halloween candy? They do not. They have had some organic, dye-free candy corns that look like garbage. So apparently the real ones, they must bleach or something, because apparently you can't get white if you don't use food coloring. So I don't know. They're like gray. They look really gross, but my kids think that's pretty amazing. So anyway, they had 4 little candy corns tonight. So anyway, we'll get started. But I'm excited for November because November is historically the most exciting month in doTERRA every single year. Everyone gets really excited to have holiday products and holiday joy in their home and holiday peace, and people start spending money in November. So September is difficult because people are going back to school and that's their focus. October is normally pretty good. It was an amazing month. We'll talk about that. But November is where it's at. So if you're investing time in your business this month, I promise you it will be so worth it. You will see big stuff happen. Megan Nankable's already like, BOGOs? We'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, Alyssa's like, of course we gotta get excited about Halloween because that means my birthday happened, right? For sure. So let's talk a little bit about October, some October celebrations. Did y'all enjoy October? It was an amazing month. I bet you saw some big volume on your team. Lots of people purchasing essential oils, getting pretty excited about the new oils. If you haven't already connected them to some education on the new products, I'm going to be posting my PowerPoint up in the LDC pretty soon. So you'll be able to connect them to that. Otherwise, there are things already on the LDC for them to learn about those new products. There is an ebook that was released with all the new products, lots of recipes and stuff that I encourage you to tag your customers in, as well as a live video that Kristen did way back at the beginning of October going through all the products. So there's so many resources out there, even if your customers didn't get connected to my online or local classes. But October brought almost $70,000 in our organization of sales. So we don't normally see that high unless it's a BOGO month. So that was pretty phenomenal. We had a lot of enrollments, brand new people that got essential oils on our team in October. And so many of you are included in that. 44 brand new people added to our team with new essential oils, doTERRA oils. Janice Urban. I wish she was on this call. I bet she's not, huh? Janice Urban is a brand new leader in doTERRA. She just did a launch out in Wyoming, and she enrolled 7 of her friends and family this month, and a couple of them were Natural Solutions kits. So pretty exciting. Kim Thompson is her enroller. She enrolled 4 people. Michelle Shuddy. Did I say that right? Yes. Enrolled 4 people this month. That's way cool. Emily Paulson and Kelsey Vandenbrink enrolled 3. Laureen Waslin 2, as well as Stacy enrolled 2. And then a bunch of you guys enrolled 1 person last month. Alyssa Kennedy, Barbie Rudabush, Shara Wallach, Stacy Miller, Tanya Stromsness. Did I say that right? Kind of close. Okay. Audrey Stake, Nicole Love, AJ Watson, Christy Nordquist, Megan Nankaville, Amy Decker, Julia Moss, Lacey Rapp, and Shanna DeHoog. I think that was Shanna's first enrollment ever, which is really exciting. And then Tanya's first enrollment ever with the last like few minutes of the month. So super fun. That's 44 enrollments. I had one myself. And then we had some people that rank advance for the first time ever. Y'all have rank advance. It's a fun experience to watch your business grow. So many hit manager for the first time. That means their orders plus anyone below them totaled at least $500. And that would be Amanda Hanton, Tanya I got Stromsness, Terry Aho, and Maria LeBlanc. These are just brand new people to doTERRA. That's why I still am learning their names a little bit. I would love to meet all of these people if I haven't already. And then 3 new directors, Bertha Waldner, Roxy Olson, and Shanna DeHoog. 2 executives, Sarah Sheely, Michael Ellingson. Executive is a very important rank because those are the basis of premiers. And that's an important rank because those are the basis of blue diamonds. So, well, golds, and then golds, blue diamonds, you're with me, right? And then Janice Urban and Jan Rudabush both hit Elite this month. So that's what 7 enrollments will do for you. It'll shoot you to Elite in 1 month. And then Kim Thompson hit Premier for the first time ever. And if you're not familiar with Premier rank, that's the first rank that doTERRA recognizes with an extra bonus. So not only will they get money for their enrollments and get money for the unilevel on their organization, but they also get a percentage of doTERRA's profit. So they'll get an empowerment bonus if they've enrolled 1 person that month. And it's last month it was $210. So boom, 210 bucks adds on top of that. And that's really where you can start paying for your oils and then some. Pretty exciting. So that's what happened in October. Super exciting. I'm going to have a few people share at the end of our call here just on some of their successes and just leave you with some encouragement. But I want to talk about November before we leave today. So I want to do that before I forget. There's a couple of updates just for ordering that I wanted you to be aware of. Number 1, the kids line originally was going to be released today to be purchased individually. For some reason, they're actually delaying that until December. So just so you know, if you have customers asking, they won't be able to purchase the kids line individually until December, but they can purchase the whole kids kit, if I'm right, right now. Is that right? Does anybody know the answer to that for sure? Yes? Okay. The mouthwash, doTERRA's brand new On Guard mouthwash, and then the beautiful body mist is now available individually. So I already purchased some of that today. And then there are brand new promos for this month. I'm sure you've already checked your email. If you haven't, then you would not know that there is a Give the Gift promotion. This is one of my favorites. So for anybody that enrolls with a 100 PV order, so that includes every single enrollment kit, so it doesn't matter. Can y'all not hear me? Michael can't hear me. Are we better now? Okay, now we're good. Sorry, I just saw that. For anyone that enrolls with a 100 PV order, so any enrollment kit or just an enrollment with 100 PV, they're going to get 50 points. So automatically within 2 weeks, doTERRA will just plop 50 points right into their account. That doesn't mean they have to start the LRP or anything to use them. They're just going to have 50 points right there. So that's 50 bucks in oils, brand new oils. Michael and I were just talking about this today. That's a significant great oil, or it's a couple of really good oils like Serenity and Balance, a couple oils you guys feel like you can't live without. Those, like, immediately they could purchase for free. So that's pretty exciting. And the cool thing is you're going to get 50 points too. And there's no limit. So if, let's say, Janice or any of you enroll another 7 people this month, she's going to get 350 points landing in her account just because doTERRA is going to give them to you. So this promo is so fun because, number 1, it encourages brand new builders to get excited. And even people that haven't really even considered the business, like I want to be a diamond or I want to rank advance, they probably have 1 or 2 people that they have shared oils with. And all it takes is you explaining to them that they can get 50 points, $50 free. And they'll probably reach out and say, hey, did you want to get a kit this month? You'll get 50 bucks free. And so will I. And I found a lot of shares kind of come out of the woodwork that way. Plus, I just advertise it as a $50 gift card. So people that are brand new to doTERRA probably don't understand what points mean, but they definitely understand what gift cards are, especially at this time of the year. We're always talking about gift cards, right? So it's a $50 gift card to doTERRA. Anybody that starts brand new gets a $50 gift card to doTERRA this month. That's pretty exciting. So I hope that you guys will really take advantage of that. It's been a good promotion for me in the past. And then we have a product of the month is clove. I don't know if I have any cloves up here. Y'all know I got a new shelf, right? You have to go check my past Insta stories, but and then digestion soft gels are 10% off. So I wanted to hear from you guys. I always share why I love the product of the month or the 10% off, but I'd love to hear from you. And then I found this extra piece rollerball blend that's brand new that I thought I'd just mail out to someone randomly for sharing tonight, because I think we're all gonna need a little piece this month. So unmute yourself and tell me how you use digestion, or your customer, like tell me why you're so excited that the soft gels are 10% off this month. Who's going first? Someone unmuted.
I haven't had a customer use the soft gels yet, but I had a friend this summer that really struggled with some motion sickness on the boat.
Yeah.
And she and her husband do a lot of fishing, so she was really having a hard time with that she was getting so sick on the boat. So I sent her a roller with digestin and then an inhaler with cardamom and wild orange. And she felt the roller was super helpful. She'd put it on around her tummy before they went out on the boat, and then she was able to stay on the boat because her tummy wasn't feeling so bad, and wasn't upset, and she wasn't having the motion sickness, and she was very thankful for having some digestin this summer.
Nice. Yes. Motion sickness. People ask me about it all the time, and digestin is one of the first that I recommend. A rollerball, just like you did, rolled around the belly, or they can just do drops of it on cotton balls and put it in like a Ziploc bag and just have it in their car so that it's just ready to go. But a lot of people don't like the smell of digestin, so the soft gels would be a way to combat that. Cool. Thanks, Megan. Who else?
Digestin is also awesome as a decongestant. If y'all haven't used it that way, just putting it on the bridge of your nose, because it has all those detoxifying oils that help to break things down in your gut. It helps the same here. So it's amazing as a decongestant. I've used it on 8-month-old to 89-year-old successfully to either create bowel movements or to stop from happening so that you can get off the toilet. And I've used it myself both ways, and it's never failed us. Like, amazing tummy tamer, great for nauseousness during pregnancy, an oil that I wouldn't go without for sure.
Yeah.
And soft gels, get it, right?
I'm just like, there's sometimes where I'm not a person that's gonna drop it under my tongue, and I'm not gonna probably put it in water, but there are times where I don't necessarily, like, if you're in a place where you don't want to smell like digestin, like, I feel like it'd be something I'd carry in my purse regularly. So, yeah. Digestin for poos, for sure. Anybody else?
Well, okay, I'll share about the clove, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I never had a cavity in my whole life until I was 47. And when I heard about clove, that you could put it on the outside of your jaw or right on the inside, I did that because the side of my jaw was hurting pretty good. So I put it on the inside and then I put it on the outside, and I have not had pain since. I don't know why, but that really helped that night. And then I have a friend that he used to be, through the ministry, I met him, he used to be on meth pretty bad, and it really destroyed his teeth, and they are currently getting ready to start pulling them so he can get new teeth. And so then he came to my work, and I gave him some clove, and it helped with the pain.
Wow. How did he use it?
And I told him to just do what I did, just put it on the inside where it was hurting, and then on the outside of his jawline.
Are you just putting it like on your finger and then rubbing it?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, it's super numbing. I've used it for my babies for teething when everything else just wasn't cutting it. And I'm like, had enough. So I always try it on my tongue first. And I'm like, oh, yeah, oh, that works. Cool. Thanks for sharing.
My son gets cold sores, cold sores. And so we have a roller with On Guard with a little extra clove in it. So he'll always just roll that on there if he gets those, and that helps really well. I had a neighbor who, got her teeth pulled for reasons. and it was just super painful for her to get the new ones in. And so I gave her Serenity in white for on the outside, but I also gave her Clove on the inside, and it just helped her a ton get through that as well.
Is she displaying it with her finger too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cold sores are great for that.
Sweet. Thanks. There's only like 12 of you on, so your chances right now are 25%. No, there's like 16 of you. Okay, anybody else?
So I actually just recently mixed up a roller for my mom. She actually has a corn on her toe.
Oh.
So I actually mixed up a roller for her for that, and that seems to really help the pain. So
With clove?
yeah.
Really? What else is in there?
I know there's Citrus Bliss and Arbor Vitae. And I think
How did you
2
come
more.
across that?
In the book.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder why Citrus Bliss. Clove and arborvitae, huh?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I'm trying to think. There's 2 other ones. I think I have it right over here.
I mean, you're probably depressed if you have a corn on your foot, so I can see the Citrus Bliss to like just lift your spirits. But I bet they're really good. With
Ylang Ylang too.
Interesting. She just started using it?
Yeah, she said like instantly her pain is gone.
What?
So,
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yay. All right, that was a good one. Anybody else? Should I just draw it right now? Anybody else want to jump in? We'll make all the people who are watching the replay feel bad.
Hey, Melissa, this is Deb Dornenball.
Hey.
I haven't actually used clove, but my daughter Danny gargles with it, and she said that the last time she went into the dentist, she had receding gums, and they were back to a good number instead of receding so far. Yeah. And so it's on my next order because I have receding gums, so I'm going to try it too.
Yeah, sweet. Well,
yeah,
you can get it free if you spend $125.
There you go. Actually, I did just today, so
it's on its way.
Perfect. Yeah, good.
That's pretty, like it's. I feel like it has a numbing effect when I use it. So I don't know. You have to.
Well, I thought that you couldn't get receding gums back. That's what my dentist told me.
That's
so
what
I was pretty pumped. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I've actually heard that from several customers. Normally it's like On Guard they're using, but Clove is in On Guard. And then Myrrh is actually listed pretty heavy for gum health, and Myrrh is in your toothpaste. So I think she's using the On Guard toothpaste as well, isn't she?
She is, yes.
So I bet it's that combo. She's like really going after it. That's cool.
Probably, yeah, for sure.
Sweet. Thanks for sharing. You're in the drawing.
You bet.
Anybody else? Last one? No, we'll move on because it's getting late. Isn't this fun? It gets you re-energized about the oils. You're like, that's right. Why don't I use clove more often? I just used Digestin last night. I don't know what happened, you guys, but it was 8:45 and I'm begging my kids to fall asleep because I am like I'm in pain digestively. I don't know what it was. So I went to bed at 8:45. Never done that. I don't know if not never, but like it's been a long time since I've gone to bed at 8:45. And I finally fell asleep. So I just kept rolling that sucker. I was in too much pain to get up and get a Tirazyme. I needed someone. My kids can't reach the top shelf. And I felt totally normal today. Okay, but I can't win. Quick. We're doing a little toss. Michelle! You got a Peace Touch when I came to Watertown, didn't you? Maybe I'll pick something different for you unless you love it and want a refill. You'll have to let me know. All right. So the last thing I want to do before we finish up here is give you a little bit of my calendar for November so you can write down some dates. And then I'm going to have a few people share with you just for some inspiration, and we're going to jump off. So today is November 1st. Next week, and we're currently finishing up our oil camp of the month. So it's been a really awesome oil camp. Some really excited customers. I actually reached out to 2 customers this month that have already been enrolled. One of them's been enrolled for a year. The other one's been enrolled for quite a while. She actually just transferred to my team, and they're very excited about their oils. And it's shocking to me because the first lady, we got to the frankincense day, and she was like, oh, I'm so glad we're talking about this today. I've actually never used my frankincense. So it just was like really surprising. The other one, we got on the lemon day, and she goes, oh, I put lemon in my water all the time, but I've never thought to use it for cleaning. Like, it's just mind-blowing to me. It's mind-blowing to me when you really, never use Frank. And now she says it's her favorite oil. So just think about how she will respond in December. It's her new favorite. When she sees that she can get frankincense for free, potentially. Like, I love oil camp, and I can't encourage you enough to just be busting down our doors to try to get your people into oil camp, because they see other people like getting excited about it, and they just can't help but like rethink some of the stuff they have in their cupboards. So anyway, that's my little plug for oil camp. That's going to finish up on Saturday this week. And then next Wednesday night, the 7th, there's going to be a how to get the most class. So if you have recently enrolled someone in the last 30 to 60 days, and they understand a little bit about their oils, and you have at least chatted with them since they've gotten their oils, it's time for them to learn a little bit about some membership perks. We're going to go through ordering on LRP. We're going to talk about healing hands. We're going to be talking about hosting classes. We're going to be talking about doing the business. It's a 30-minute class that starts at 8:30 Central Time. So from 8:30 to 9 p.m., it'll be a Facebook class, and there'll be some lives and some posts, but it'll go through all of that. And at the end, they're going to fill out a survey to enter into a raffle, and that survey will tell us so much. Last month, I got better at sending out the surveys. I know I'd sent some to Kim and Audrey and Emily. Wasn't that so helpful to know like exactly where your customers were at? Some of them are considering the business, and you have no idea unless you hear that from them. So anyway, that's on Wednesday night. I just can't encourage you enough to send some personal invites to your personally recently enrolled. Like 44 people at least should be on that class that were enrolled on my team last month. So that's on Wednesday the 7th. So I wanted you to know about that. On Tuesday the 13th at 8:30 p.m. Central is our monthly tribe time. So that's when everybody from the LDC gets together on a call like this. I'm actually going to be leading it this month because Kristen's going to be out of the country. And we're going to be talking about how to set up a local event or an event in general and get people on your team and customers excited to attend, and how I actually go through all of that. So that'll be at 8:30 tribe time on the 13th. Our next oil camp, November oil camp, will start on Monday the 19th, and that'll go for the last 2 weeks of November. So you can mark that in. If you are a Silver Plus rank, we do a special call on the 20th of November where we just kind of mastermind and share some strategy and just chat. So if you're shooting for Silver, we'll invite you to the Silver Club here soon. And then I have not decided what I'm going to do for an online class this month. So I'm open to suggestions. If you have customers, you're like, I would love for them to learn this. Or if you have people you're sharing with that are like, oh, if only there was a class for this and it's online, they would jump on for sure. I'd love to hear that. So pass along those ideas to me. I'd probably do that towards the end of the month. And then there is always a potential that doTERRA will do a buy one, get one free week. If you could all start praying your prayers, that would be great. If I could make a really good educated guess, I think it will start on the 19th. But nobody knows. no one will know till it actually happens. They're never going to announce a BOGO until after the 15th of the month. And you personally don't really want to tell your customers that there might be BOGOs until after the 15th of the month. You want everyone to get on as soon as possible and order, get their product of the month. We don't want them holding their orders until the end of the month. We want them ordering their orders, and then when it comes up at the end of the month, if it does, it's just a bonus. Yay, sweet. Now you can just create a second LRP and run your orders through this month. So the zippity of the lips, but just so you know, that's probably going to happen at the end of November, and it would probably be the 19th through the 23rd. Unless they get real crazy and run it the 26th through the 30th, but I've never seen them run a BOGO up until the last day of the month. But they've done a lot of things I've never seen them do. So anyway, if you're a planner and you want to create a little bit of extra time, we'll probably do a little call like this right before that week starts so you can learn a little bit of my strategy and what to plan for. But if you're planning to rank advance this month, I'd get after it. Speaking of that, I want to pull in 3 lovely ladies. You've heard from a few of them before because they've been my rock stars of the month, but Megan Nankovil and Audrey Stake and Kimberly Thompson are going to share a little bit about, they're all premier ranks. Kim is a brand new premier, like 24 hours fresh. Super exciting. I can't wait for the 15th to come and you get to see your check and feel so great. And you're getting checks probably this week with all your fast start from Janice's classes. Super fun. Not that it's about the money, but it just really validates all the time and effort that you're putting in, and it's freedom for your family. So, so they're all going to share. Does anybody like really just got to go first? Megan, I saw you flip your video on. Hey.
Sure, I can go first.
So this is Megan Nankovil. You've heard from her before, mama of 2, physical therapist in Sioux Falls, running a full-time job, regularly ranking premier, especially on big promo months. And I just love what you are going to share about just creating relationships and all that. So take it away.
Okay. So Melissa just asked me to share a little bit about how I worked this month with hitting premier. So I told her the first thing I decided when I was going to enter into the business was I wanted to create relationships with all of my customers, anybody that I personally enrolled, anybody that was under my team. I didn't want them to feel like they were just a sale. I didn't want them to feel like they got enrolled and then we never spoke again. Because I know multiple people have told me that that has happened to them before, and I never want anybody to feel that way. I think making an emphasis on those relationships for me has helped maintain residual. I have a pretty strong group of LRPs and consistent orders above the 50 PV or around the 50 PV.
Or
so
like
that's always helpful.
300 PV.
Yeah, a couple that really like to order. So I think that's been helpful because I've stayed pretty steady that way. I was one of those kind of around the 20th. I was like, oh crap, one leg is only 400 PV away from qualifying into Premier. I already had one qualifying leg. So I kind of made some strategy on how I could get some volume that way. I was pretty heavy on my front line. So I did step out of some fear of asking someone to upgrade their account for moving volume. But once you kind of explain that to somebody that it's not changing anything relating to what they're doing now, it just allows me to restructure. They're usually like, oh yeah, cool, that's no problem. If I don't have to do anything different, it's no big deal. I also had to step out of the fear and ask her if she could do it like today, because she's like, oh, I'll get around to it in the next couple days. I'm like, well, if you could do it tomorrow, that would be helpful. Today is the 30th. And I also pushed a little bit harder than I usually do for an enrollment. I had a friend that's been looking at kits and stuff and just doesn't take the time to sit down in the evening to do it, and has fully admitted that. And I was like, can I just put in your order for you and call you when I need your credit card? And she's like, oh yeah, totally, let's do it. So we did that. So kind of on that note,
that's really good.
I was thinking about what made this.
You're kind of brushing over that, but I just want you to stop for a second, because that's so so key, like identifying your customers' needs and just like, because it looks salesy from the outside if you don't really understand that you've been having relationships and conversations, but she actually probably viewed that as like, that actually would be awesome if you would just.
She did.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was totally like, yeah, I will totally take you up on that. Like, let's do it. I was like, can I call you tomorrow? Yeah. So I was glad that, you know, it didn't seem uncomfortable to her because I was kind of fearful of that it would seem like I was being really pushy, but she was really responsive to that. So kind of on that note, I was thinking about what made this month different. I've been doing a lot of podcast listening, and a big thing I keep getting told in these podcasts is to stop doing things that other people are doing because I feel like I have to do it. So anytime there's specific calls or things like that, I'm not a big video person. I'm not a huge visual learner. I don't focus well in those situations, but I keep thinking I have to do all these things because everybody else is doing these things. But it's not my strong suit, and trying to do things that aren't my strong suit. I'm just learning that I need to just do what I do and just go about it the way I've been doing it because it's working. So that was a big lesson I learned this month, is to stop comparing, stop being afraid, just do what I do, live the life that I had live the life that we're leading, and being an example. And the last thing I would say is, if you're getting frustrated and by the people you keep feeling like you're sharing with, and they're just never taking the plunge, don't leave them, because if you leave them, someone else will pick them up. And then all that time you spent building that relationship is now lost. I have people that I've been sharing with for 2 years, and they still just haven't quite committed yet. And I just have come to realize they're just not in a place where they're ready to make that change yet, and to have these options in their life. So just keep doing what you're doing, keep letting them know you're available and you're there, and it will come. It will come. They'll realize how much they need you in their life, how much they need their oils in their life, and they'll be ready for that change. And then you'll be there because you formed that relationship.
So you got an enrollment this month, and it was over on TV.
Yep, she went. Yep, and then I hit Premiere. I was watching the clock last night, trying to log into my back office to make sure it went through, because the move was showing up, and but the volume hadn't updated yet. So imagine waiting in the queue an hour today just to check my back office. Was a little scary, but
yeah, no, I didn't even talk about holiday products today, did I? Should have, but yeah, we could talk about that at the end if you guys have questions. 2 things that I think you should know. Have you ever checked your retention rate in your back office?
Yes. I think it has been a while since I checked. I'll have to look again here soon, but last I checked, it was like 68 to 70% or something like that.
Yeah. So 70% of the people that you've enrolled over the last, year and a half have ordered in the last 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
That's like incredible in this business. Amazing. I get my 2 podunk customers off there that never ordered, we'll probably go up to 85. So.
I have a couple on my own there too.
I'll have them, right? That's cool. So I was going to tell you to look up your retention rate. If you don't know how to do that, then post that in the educators page so I can show you how to do that. And then just so you know, the commissions for October actually don't get paid out till November 15. You know that. Mm-hmm. And you can actually do moves all the way up until November 13. And it'll
that's good to know
for October. So if that girl would have upgraded by the end of the month, you would have had until the 13th of the month actually for her to upgrade. It just, you live in freak out land for 13 days, but but it's possible. But that's just important for all of you that maybe got really close to a rank and didn't actually get there. If you have customers on your front line, like for Premier and above, I guess I'm talking, that could move down, you still technically have 13 days to do that. So
that's good to know.
Yeah, so it's like the month might be over, but not if you've got moves to take place. So anyway, cool. Thanks for sharing. What about? I would love for Kim to go next because she has a completely different story. She hasn't been building for a year and a half. She's building pretty quickly, and I'd love for you to tell me a little bit about finding leaders and launching them and whatever else we talked about you sharing.
Okay. So I guess I just I just launched a new builder, and I feel incredibly blessed. I feel like she's a one of a kind builder. She enrolled in September, so just recently, and she basically in 6 weeks she already hit elite. So what I did to get her started was initially I got together some build guides and live guides, and I got her a bunch of samples together, and I shipped her a bunch of items just to kind of get her started as a builder, because I felt like that was good support that Melissa gave me initially. So I did that, and then I actually did a Zoom call with her, and Melissa Dargett helped out, and I could just tell that she was so receptive to everything that we suggested, and she was just so excited about everything. And so I'm like, oh, this girl is the real deal. So it was really, really neat to just see the excitement that she had and everything like that. So we've just been in contact pretty much every day. And I sent her, once I sent her those items, I just sent her a nice little note in there, and I said, so what do you think about us coming out and having a launch class for you? And anyway, she got back to me and she goes, I think that's an awesome idea. So we ended up doing 3 launch classes out in Gillette, Wyoming. Melissa Dargett helped me with that. And they just went great. I mean, everybody out there was just so excited about the oils, and it was just all these medical, just health-minded people, all these ICU nurses, and it was so fun. We just had a blast, and just seeing the excitement that everybody had, it was really fun.
Is that what Janice does? Is she an ICU nurse?
Yeah.
How do you know her?
Yeah, there was 8 ICU nurses there. It was really neat.
That would have been really intimidating for most people.
Well, it might have been. Yeah, it was a little bit intimidating, but somehow Melissa and we struggled through it. We put our game faces on.
How do you know Janice?
So I actually work with her mom. So she's actually a restorative therapist, and she's a CNA that I work with. And so Janice has been ordering through her mom's account since, I think, February. So she's already been very familiar with the oils, and she's just been loving them. And so
get her to get her own account.
I've just been bugging her mom. I'm like, she has just been loving the oils. I'm like, gosh, she should really just do the biz. And finally, we just went back and forth a few times, and she goes, okay, I think she's ready. I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah. So, yeah. Finally, it just worked out, and we connected, and, it seems like we've just hit it off, and I've just really enjoyed working with her, and yeah, it's been really good. So, yeah, it's been a really fun, and it's been a rewarding month. So
that's awesome. So I just wrote down 3 notes of stuff that sometimes I think we skip over it so quickly and don't realize it until you're down the road and realize that was a really cool thing that I did. That was a big deal, because then you see other leaders doing it. But number 1, you identified what you loved about how you were enrolled and how you were supported, and then you did that for your builder. And I think that's what sometimes we miss. Even when reaching out to new customers, what did I love about the way that Kristen approached me about the oils? And if I had to answer that right now, I would say, well, I was in a time of need where my daughter was sick, and she just handed me her oils and was like, here, use them. And it was so generous. And so that's something that I have really done in my business. I've just been crazy generous when I've shared oils. And you're just doing the same thing. You're like, what did Melissa do that made me feel loved, supported as I started the business? And then you just did that. That's so key. So key. And then you video chatted. I don't know if you know that's just a really big deal. You didn't just call her on the phone or just text her several times. You video chatted with her. You were like, I want to see you face to face, see my emotions. I want to hear everything about what you're thinking. It's really, really key to do something like that. I have a customer down in Mesa, Arizona, and my grandparents live there. And so I'm going to see my grandparents ultimately, but I just messaged her and said, hey, I'm going to be down there. What do you think about grabbing coffee, and she's like, that's really ironic because I just was thinking about asking you how to do what you do. And I'm like, oh, my Arizona trip just got paid for. I get to write it all off. But I'm not going to talk a cent about the business until I get down there in front of her. Like, now I'm going to tell you about it. And if I wasn't able to get down there, I would immediately get on the video chat and talk with her face to face. And then you said I was in contact with her every day. How are you doing that? Through text messages, or were you doing something else?
Yeah, pretty much Messenger and text messaging. So
yeah, that's cool. You're like all over it. Those first like 6 weeks are so key for them to just like have a really good experience, make some money. And so anyway, I love it. Okay, before we go on too long, thank you for sharing. Audrey, will you share a little bit? Because I think what you have to share is going to relate to more people, because I think they look at Kim and they say, I'll never be Kim. That's how we all are. We're like, oh, I don't have what Kim has. And not that you don't hear what I'm not saying here, but I feel like your story is what most people do. Like, they work their butt off and then they got to like go back to their life and work their butt off, and then they have discouragement, and Kim will have some of that too. Like, we all do. I just did 2 weeks ago, and I was supposed to share it on the educators page, and I still haven't because I'm still bummed about it. But anyway, will you share a little bit about discouragement? Because you didn't hit Premier this month, and I actually want you to share that because I think that's more powerful than if you did, because I think your reflection on it is like mind-blowing. Awesome. I'll stop. You go. You're muted. Unmute. Got you.
Sorry, thank you. All right, yeah, so I pretty much just hit Premier on BOGO months, and it's something that I've been okay with seeing how I've hit it and how it's changed every time and how it's gotten easier and better every time. But it is kind of frustrating when it's just those months, and it makes me feel like, I'm doing something wrong, and it's just BOGO months and people are excited about that. And I will have to say, though, that I'm not consistent. And so there is a level of, I have to own that consistency is going to build your business. And if we aren't consistent, we're going to have those times when it doesn't grow. And one beautiful thing about the business, though, is that you can, if your family needs it, if your time needs it, you can step away and you can say, my family needs me. And that is a beautiful thing, but sometimes you take advantage of that. So this month, I started some habits to be consistent, like a class every week, but I wasn't consistent with inviting. And so it didn't grow as much as I wanted to. And then Emily messaged me on the 25th of this month and said, hey, are you shooting for Premiere? And I'm like, oh, am I close? I just hadn't looked and wasn't aware. And so I looked in my back office. It was like, oh, dang, I'm actually really closer than I had been before. And I made the decision to step out, but I didn't really have any leads before that. And so it was really scary for me to say, okay, who am I going to reach out to? And then how am I going to actually talk to these people? Because now it just seems salesy and it's the end of the month and I'm going to be pushy. And so it was really, really difficult for that. I did have some good conversations with people, but it really spoke to me. So I was like 420 PV away from Premiere last night. And basically people just didn't respond to messages, and it's Halloween and everyone's busy and all the things. And I realized that if you want to hit a goal, you need to start at the beginning of the month talking with people and having relationships with people, so that you don't get down to 3 days before the end and you're starting to push people and they don't feel comfortable and they feel overwhelmed and they wish they would have known days before, like all those things. And so I just took this last month as a lesson in that. And so now I'm pushing for silver for November, starting yesterday. So all of those people who are still interested, just didn't have the time to think about it, are now potentials for this month. So yeah, it was really eye-opening to me. But I tried to turn it positive, but really start out consistent at the beginning of the month. So your end of the month isn't salesy, I guess, is big there. I will say, Melissa, practically speaking, is build for premiere instead of splitting up your legs. This is just a practical side note, but I have enough volume. I have the for premiere probably every month almost, but as far as it's just split up between 3 legs. And so I wish I would have maybe listened.
You had some hard decisions to make.
I did. And I'm not blaming myself or anything like that, but it just looking back saying, I understand that logic to build with 2 legs and not create the third because you're going to be spread out really thin every month. So that's just the practical things in there.
Then you have someone like Michelle or Melissa Dargits, who I like begged to not make a third leg, so she places people deep, and then they like rock star out of it. And yeah, like we all just have different things, and we just don't know. And I think at the end of the day, like, we just have to trust that God has given us the right direction at the right time, and that we'll be able to fix mistakes if there were. And anyway.
Right. And I think it just depends on who you're building with, and you just have to make that decision and be okay with it. And I mean, yes, now I have a structure for silver, and I can shoot for that this month, and I have the structure for the 250 power of 3, but it would just be nice to be able to get premiere every month while working with silver. So
good. I love it. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
If they have any major questions they want to talk about the holiday items, we could talk for 30 seconds about if we want to, but they're selling out fast, even though they promised us they wouldn't. So if you haven't placed your holiday order, I just can't encourage you enough to try to do that tonight. The wait time before I jumped on here was just 15 minutes to get on and order. So if you really want the beautiful blend, you probably should order it today. I don't know that it'll be around tomorrow. So that's my little 2 cents. The lava rock diffuser sold out really fast today. So if that was something that you wanted, there might be extras lingering around the LDC. So just feel free to post if you want to. Otherwise, they are still checking to see if they can reissue some of the items. I doubt that they will, but at least you can know that they're checking on it. And then I would just be reaching out to your customers and that have ordered, and just like try to soften up their experience a little bit. Hopefully nobody got too worked up, but just remind them that anything that gets released anywhere, concert tickets, anything can sell out fast. And we're just glad that we're selling a product that can bust down the internet. Like, I'm glad that what I'm selling is breaking internets. I'm glad that people aren't like, I'm not interested in that this month. So as frustrated as I was, because we were preached to Diamonds and Above that we would not sell out product in the first day, it wasn't true. So I actually told some customers not to order today. I wasn't going to order today. So anyway, just know that we're all making mistakes and we're all trying to figure it out together. And so just to continue to use the educators page as support and love, and the boxer feed or whatever you need from anybody. So, but go and order your beautiful tonight. I haven't heard that anything else will sell out anytime soon, but I will keep you guys posted as I hear those things. So I'm going to snap off the recording.